Hey guys, Scott here and welcome to the Rogue Review. So today we're going to be talking about Marvel Netflix series Luke Cage. It dropped on Friday the 30th of September. It's now Monday and I've watched all 13 episodes. I just fell in love with this series and we're going to get into why. So Luke Cage, if you don't know, is a character that was created in sort of the late 70s to sort of appeal to more of a black readership. It was created around the time of the blaxploitation cinema in the sort of late 70s, and so it was a character sort of created for that sort of audience. And finally, 30-40 years later, we've finally seeing him on screen, which is great. And so Luke Cage is our main character, and we follow him, living in Harlem, and he's a guy with superpowers, but not necessarily a superhero. He's just a dude, he's just trying to pay the rent. He's sweeping hair at a barber shop. He's making cocktails, at a club. He's trying to get by, He doesn't want to get mixed up in all this superhero nonsense, And this is, of course, set inside the Marvel sort of cinematic universe. So it references stuff from the Avengers and references Iron Man and Thor and that sort of stuff. But it's its own thing. It really is its own thing, and it sort of stands aside from those things in that it's got its own tone, its own agenda, its own story to tell. And so we're following Luke Cage. As I said, he's not really getting involved in anything at the beginning. He's just trying to get by, but the place around him, Harlem, it's just full of violence and crime and just like black youths getting mixed up and stuff they probably shouldn't get mixed up in, and something happens to someone close to him and he's like, right, I'm going to take action and I'm going to try and do my best to fix Harlem, and sort of our adventure begins. And so one of the words you're going to hear a lot about Luke Cage season 1 is bold. Now, if you've watched any of the Marvel Netflix shows, you sort of know what you're getting into when you start watching Luke Cage. It's different to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a bit more adult. It's more bloody. It's definitely a bit more sexy. Whoo! And it's deeper with its characters, because with a movie you've got an hour, 2 hours to sort of set up characters and plot and all that sort of stuff. But here we've got 13 episodes, just under 13 hours, really, of time to really develop these characters and these stories and really flesh them out, and you really get a sense of who everyone is. They use quite a few flashbacks, which I'm not a big fan of flashbacks, but the way they used them here felt really genuine, and you really got into the nitty-gritty of who these people are. And if you took them out, I don't know what the show would be. You would get into a bit of Luke Cage's origin story, but for the most part we're in the present, and it's Luke Cage's sort of one-man mission against crime in Harlem. And so there are a lot of different bad guys in the show. There's the main bad guy is called Cottonmouth, and he's he wants to be the big bad guy. Like, he's got a picture of Biggie Smalls wearing a crown sort of in the background, and a great shot. We sort of zoom out of the Biggie Smalls sort of paintings behind him, and we zoom out and the crown ends up almost just above Cottonmouth's head. It's really great imagery and really tells you a lot about the character and how he sees himself as king, and really just his frustration as Luke Cage is trying to destroy his empire. And so I really appreciate these Netflix shows. Really, I get stuff out of them that I don't get out of the Marvel series. Really, if you're into sort of like the Nolan Batman films, you should be watching the Marvel Netflix shows, because that's the sort of thing. They're filling that hole in the market that no one's doing. DC stopped making decent films. So anyway, so Luke Cage, very bold. You really get a feel for the place. Harlem is as much a character as Luke Cage and all the other supporting characters are. Supporting characters in this are top notch as well. I don't want to get too into it because that's spoiler territory. Maybe I'll do that if I get enough attention on this video. We'll see. But Marvel's Luke Cage on Netflix. Go watch it now. It's great. There's so much more to talk about, but I can't want to spoil it. Other Scott, Rogue Review. Peace, guys.